Right now, somewhere beneath the waves you're picturing, the sun is disappearing forever. Not for the night, forever. Go deep enough, and daylight simply stops existing. No sunrise, no sunset. Just an endless, crushing black that never changes. Year after year, century after century. And yet, something is moving down there. Hunting, glowing, surviving in a place that seems built to kill anything that enters it. We've sent people to the edge of space. We've photographed galaxies billions of light years away. But we still don't fully understand what happens in the dark heart of our own ocean. So why does the ocean actually go dark? And what does dark even mean? Once you're far enough down? Let's start with something most people get wrong. The ocean doesn't go dark all at once, like a light switch flipping off. It fades, slowly, layer by layer. Picture diving straight down from the surface. At first, everything looks normal. Blue water, sunlight streaming through in bright, moving shafts. This is the sunlight zone, and it only reaches about 200 meters down. That's roughly the height of a 65-story building, stacked straight down into the water. 200 meters doesn't sound like much, but that's where things start to change fast. Below that point, you enter the Twilight Zone, and this is where the ocean starts playing tricks on you. There's still light here, barely, but it's not enough to grow a single plant. No plankton, no seaweed, nothing that photosynthesizes can survive this deep. It's too dim. But here's where things get strange. Just because plants can't survive down here doesn't mean animals can't see. In fact, some of the sharpest eyes in the entire ocean belong to creatures that live in near total darkness. So what do we actually know about this fading light? In the 1930s, a naturalist named William Beebe and an engineer named Otis Barton built something called a bathysphere, a hollow steel ball barely large enough for two people, and lowered it over 900 meters into the Atlantic Ocean near Bermuda. No one had ever gone that deep and lived to describe it. Beebe wrote about the color of the water changing as they descended. Blue faded into a deep, inky violet, and then eventually into nothing. He described creatures with glowing lights passing by the tiny window, animals no scientist had ever seen alive. Decades later, oceanographers figured out exactly why the color changes the way it does. Sunlight isn't just one color, it's made of every color mixed together, and water absorbs those colors at different speeds. Red light disappears first, swallowed up within the first 10 meters, then orange, then yellow. Blue and violet travel the farthest, which is why the ocean looks blue from above, and why anything red-colored underwater actually looks black or gray once you're deep enough. This is important because it explains one of the strangest survival tricks in the entire ocean. Many deep-sea creatures are bright red, shrimp, certain fish, even some jellyfish. And that's not a design flaw, it's camouflage. Since red light doesn't exist at depth, a red-colored animal simply doesn't reflect any color at all. To any predator hunting by sight, that shrimp is functionally invisible. It disappears into the black, hiding in plain sight using a color evolution figured out millions of years before humans understood physics. Now here's where the ocean stops fading and just stops. Below 1,000 meters, you enter what scientists call the midnight zone, and the name is accurate. Zero sunlight reaches this depth, not a flicker, not a glow, total permanent darkness. If you held a lit torch here from a few meters away, it would look like the only star in an empty universe. You'd also feel the pressure building around you. At 1,000 meters, the weight of the water pressing down would be like balancing over 100 small cars on top of your body. Most submarines can't survive down here. Most animals from the surface would be crushed instantly. So how does anything live here at all? The answer is one of the most alien-feeling discoveries in modern biology. Many deep-sea creatures make their own light. It's called bioluminescence, and it's not rare down here. It's normal. Scientists estimate that the vast majority of animals living in the midnight zone can produce light in some way. Take the anglerfish. It dangles a glowing lure directly above its mouth, like a fisherman's rod made of living flesh, tempting curious prey close enough to swallow whole. Or consider the vampire squid, a creature that isn't actually a vampire, or fully a squid, but something in between. When threatened, it doesn't ink like a normal squid. Instead, it releases a cloud of glowing mucus that lights up the water, confusing predators long enough to escape into the black. Yeah, that's terrifying, and also strangely beautiful. None of this light comes from the sun. It comes from chemical reactions inside the animals themselves, a process almost identical to what makes fireflies glow on land, except down here, it's not decoration, it's survival. But here's the problem. For every creature we've discovered in the dark, scientists believe there are countless more we haven't found. The midnight zone and the layers below it make up the largest habitat on Earth by volume. Not the rainforest, not the grasslands, the deep ocean. And we've barely scratched the surface of it in the most literal sense possible. Researchers regularly compare this to something almost embarrassing. We have more detailed maps of the surface of Mars, a planet 140 million miles away, than we do of our own ocean floor. That's not an exaggeration. Large sections of the deep sea floor have never been mapped in high resolution. Entire mountain ranges under the water remain undiscovered. Species are still being found using submersibles and remote-operated vehicles, sometimes on a single dive. In 2019, an expedition using a deep-sea submersible reached the very bottom of the Mariana Trench, nearly 11,000 meters down, the deepest known point in any ocean on Earth. Even there, in what should be the most lifeless place imaginable, they found evidence of life, tiny organisms, signs of activity in mud that had never been touched by light in Earth's entire history. So the mystery isn't really, why does the ocean go dark? Scientists understand the physics of that quite well now. The real mystery is what's still living inside that darkness, completely unknown to us, possibly right now, while you're watching this. So what happens next? New technology is starting to change what's possible. Autonomous underwater vehicles can now explore for weeks without a human pilot, mapping the seafloor in resolutions we couldn't achieve even 10 years ago. Deep-sea cameras built to withstand crushing pressure are capturing footage of animals behaving naturally, undisturbed by bright lights or noisy engines for the first time. Some scientists believe we could fully map the entire ocean floor within the next couple of decades, something that would have sounded impossible a generation ago. And every new expedition tends to do the same thing. It doesn't close the mystery, it opens new ones, new species, new behaviors, new questions about how life survives in a place with no sunlight, crushing pressure, and near-freezing temperatures. Conclusion? So here's the full picture. The ocean doesn't go dark suddenly. It fades, color by color, until sunlight disappears completely around 1,000 meters down. Below that, in permanent darkness, life didn't just survive. It adapted in ways stranger than most science fiction, creatures making their own light, using colors that vanish into invisibility, thriving in conditions that would destroy almost anything from the surface. And yet, this enormous, ancient, pitch-black world remains one of the least explored places on our entire planet. The ocean isn't empty down there. It's simply waiting for us to discover what's still hiding below. If you enjoy exploring mysteries like this one, there's plenty more waiting beneath the surface.